Hey, hey, and welcome back to Boundaries Unleashed with me, Vicky Pittman. I'm so glad you're here. And whether you're out for a walk, whether you're making dinner, or even hiding in the bathroom for a few precious minutes alone, today's episode is full permission slip to become the boundaried woman you've always known you could be. The one who doesn't flinch when she says no, the one who trusts her gut, the one who doesn't need to justify every little decision to keep the peace. And for my mystical ladies, yes, you with the tarot and oracle cards tucked in your purse and crystals on your nightstand, this is your kind of sacred transformation as well. Now, here's the thing. Being a boundaried person isn't about being cold, controlling, or even just saying no to prove a point. It's about becoming someone who knows what's hers to carry and what's not. So today we're diving into what it actually means to be a boundaried person, how it transforms your relationships, your career, and sense of self, as well as 3 practical ways you can start becoming her, the boundaried you, today. So let's get into it. So what is a boundaried person, really? So let's clear something up. Boundaries are not just about saying no. They are about saying yes to yourself on purpose, with clarity, and with love. A boundaried person lives with clarity, clarity about what's theirs and what's not, about their time, their energy, their emotions, their values, their capacity. Being boundaried means you don't abandon yourself for harmony. It means you don't perform for approval. It means you don't shrink to make others feel comfortable. You make choices rooted in self-trust, not fear. You pause before overcommitting. You honor your own yes and your no without guilt, overexplaining, or apology. And listen, if you're a recovering people pleaser like myself, this can feel wildly unfamiliar. It can feel real scary real quick. And you've probably been trained to be available 24/7. You've learned to receive love through self-sacrifice, and you've always been the one to make sure that everyone else feels comfortable before you even check in with your own needs. But when you become a boundaried person, you stop ghosting yourself to keep the peace. You become someone who protects your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Now, boundaries transform everything. It's the whole reason I am a boundaries coach. It's the whole reason this podcast exists. So let's talk about how it actually hits your actual life. How do boundaries really transform your life? And I want to talk about how it transforms your relationships, how it transforms your career, and it transforms your identity. So looking at relationships first, you stop being the emotional sponge. You stop rescuing people who didn't ask to be rescued. And that's a big one. That's a hard one. You stop trying to manage everyone else's reaction so they don't feel uncomfortable. This is was like my number one go-to forever. So I highly relate to that one. Boundaries in relationships sound like, I care about you, but I'm not available for this today. Or my personal favorite, I trust you to figure that out. Woo! Just hits right, doesn't it? And yes, some relationships shift after you become a boundaried person. People who were highly attracted to you overgiving and self-sacrificing might push back. And in fact, oftentimes they do. I know I've experienced that myself. But the real ones, the ones who are meant to be in your life, the ones who are meant to add and enhance your experience on this earth, they adjust, they rise, because your boundaries aren't a rejection. It's an invitation to a healthier dynamic within that relationship. And that's the beauty of it. Having boundaries is an invitation to enhance that relationship. Now, how do boundaries affect our career? How do they show up? Boundaried women don't burn out to look reliable. They stop proving their worth by saying yes to everything. It might look like not answering emails after 6 o'clock at night. It might look like speaking up in a meeting, even though it might ruffle some feathers. It might look like saying, I'm at capacity without guilt attached to it. You stop being the office fixer or the team emotional support person. You start owning your value without draining yourself dry. And if you're a woman who values intuition and spiritual alignment, you realize your career doesn't have to be the soul sucking career in order for you to be successful. Your tarot deck isn't just for your Sunday ritual, it's a tool for decision making. Your energy is your edge. So, boundaries really affect your career in this way. They also affect your sense of self. This is the real magic because when you become boundaried, you start living in devotion to you, not your role, not your people pleasing mask, not the version of you who's always nice. You stop chasing approval. You start following truth. You start following your truth. You let yourself rest. You say no with love. You let other people be disappointed and you survive it and you don't make stories up about it. You start to feel proud of who you are, even if other people don't, quote unquote, get you. All right. And for my spiritual women, because I know you're listening, I know you're out there, your rituals, your oracle pulls, your intuitive nudges, they actually start landing because you've cleared out the noise and guilt and all the shoulds. I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And you can finally hear yourself again. So boundaries matter in your relationships, in your career, and in your self sense of identity. So how do we actually become this woman? Tell me, Vicky, how do I become this woman? The one who doesn't spiral after saying no, the one who trusts herself without needing a million opinions beforehand. So here are 3 ways to start doing that today. And the first one is pause before you say yes. Start by asking yourself, is it a soul yes or a fear yes? Like, why are we saying yes to all of this? Do I want to do this or am I trying to avoid guilt or disapproval? Okay, do you really want to do that? So just this 10-second check-in, it really changes everything. It gives you space to find clarity. Second way we can become this boundaried woman is to set a micro boundary a day. So just like when we're building muscles in the gym, we got to start small. We got to start flexing small, right? Holding boundaries is like having, muscle. You don't start by lifting, 100 pounds. You start with these small reps, right? So these small little micro boundaries. So that could look like, responding to a text the next day instead of immediately as soon as you get it. So waiting till the next day to text. It can sound like telling your partner you need 20 minutes to decompress when you get home from work, or, not get the download as soon as you walk in. It could sound like saying no to a call when you're tired. You get that text that's like, hey, do you have a moment to chat? Ugh, no, I don't. Okay. So these little micro boundaries, every time that you can set one and you can honor your own limit, you're almost in a way reparenting yourself because you're saying to yourself, my needs matter too. And they do. Now, your third way you can become this boundaried woman is to use tarot to set your daily boundary intention. Now, if you're not a tarot person, it can be whatever spiritual practice is meaningful for you, but it's utilizing that to set your daily boundary intention. So it could even be a prayer or, whatever aligns with you. But using your spiritual tools for practical empowerment, you can utilize them to ask, what boundary will support me today? You can pull different tarot cards that will help you give you that guidance. Like, if you pull the Queen of Swords, that's going to be telling you, oh, I need clear communication today. If you're pulling the Four of Swords, it can say, oh, my rest is non-negotiable. I need some more downtime. If you pulled Eight of Cups, it's like, oh, I need to walk away from something. Or even if you pulled a Strength card, it's really holding firm about something, even when it feels hard, and having that inner strength to do so. So it's really about letting your intuition guide you and not guilt. And those spiritual tools are going to be key for that. So Please know that you can become the woman who doesn't shrink to be safe. You can become the version of yourself who sets boundaries like it's a spiritual act, because it is. And and if this episode really spoke to your soul, I want this to be your next step. I want you to share it with your sister, your friend, your mom who is on the same path. And I want you to tag me on Instagram at vicky.pittman.coach. I'll put that in the show notes as well. But I want you to tag me when you're setting these micro boundaries and you're celebrating that you're setting these micro boundaries, because I want to celebrate you. I also want to celebrate any of the takeaways that you get from this episode. So if you're posting about it or acting on it, tag me. I want to know. I want to celebrate with you. So at vicky.pittman.coach. And if you're ready to take this deeper, I want you to check out my 16-week coaching program, Leap, where we'll get you grounded, we'll get you confident and unbothered and being the boundary goddess that you know you can be, the boundaried person that you know is deep inside and ready to come forward and play. Now, all of that information is going to be in the show notes, so don't fret. All that information is there. And again, you can always just reach out to me directly, either through email or through Instagram or through YouTube, and I'll get all that information, answer your specific questions directly. So as we wrap up today, I just want you to remember that you're allowed to protect your peace. You're allowed to trust yourself. And babe, your boundaries are a gift to the world. It's all hands on deck, my love, and you're part of that. And what a pleasure it is to connect today. I'm so grateful you're here. I'm so thankful for your listen, for your time. It truly means the world to me. And I want you to remember before we meet again, love yourself like you mean it. Bye for now, my love.